Hello, Wichita. My name is Joseph Shepard, Wichita City Council member for Wichita's District 1. One of the things that I'm looking forward to is making sure that we grow our neighborhood associations by 20% and focusing on the kitchen table issues that keep people up at night so that Wichita is a place where every resident across District 1 and beyond loves to see themselves live, learn, work, and play.
I'm Becky Tuttle, and it is my privilege and honor to serve on Wichita City Council representing District 2. I have continued to be a strong advocate for childcare and early learning, for the visual and performing arts, for health and wellness for our police and firefighters, and for water conservation and water reuse. One of the things that I'm most excited about in District 2 in 2025 was making further steps towards the completion of the Redbud Trail. That 30-mile trail provides numerous activities for community members and from visitors all across the region. And in 2026 and 2027, we'll see not only the completion of the Redbud Trail, but also a pedestrian bridge over Rock Road. Another thing that I'm very excited about in District 2 for 2026 is work that will be designed and then continue to develop on Webb Road from 13th to Central. We hear consistently from community members in that area, from the schools in that area, that it's a safety issue and something that we need to address. I'm very excited to see this project come to fruition in the next few years so that people can get where they need to go in our community safely, including where they live, learn, earn, play, and pray. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be able to serve as your City Council member for District 2, and I wish you all the best in 2026.
Hey Wichita, Michael Heisel here, City Council member for District 3, South and Southeast Wichita. Over the last year, we've been hard at work with our Public Works Department for major odor control upgrades at the sewage treatment plant. The odor control aspect of this should be done later this year. That'll bring vast improvements to not only South Wichita, but the entire city. Over the next year, I'm going to be hard at work on our Master Parks plan, laying the foundation for quality parks within walking distance of everybody in our city, making sure that everybody just has a great place to raise their kids and to go and play. So I appreciate all the work we've done. I appreciate our staff, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of years.
I'm Dalton Glasscock, Vice Mayor of Wichita, and I'm proud to represent District 4, West and Southwest Wichita. Over the last 2 years, we've spent a lot of time talking about what Wichita used to be, what went wrong, what should have happened, what could have been done differently. And we can learn from the past, but we cannot be paralyzed by it. Those days are gone. Our responsibility is to build what comes next. J.R. Mead wrote, "Cities are not the result of chance, nor do they make themselves. Their prosperity and greatness are in large measure due to the sagacity and enterprise of their founders and early settlers, and reaching out and drawing to them the channels of trade and commerce." Our city of Wichita is an illustration of what may be accomplished by making the most of opportunities. That spirit of enterprise is alive today from Maple to 31st Street West, from Seneca to Meridian, out to 135th, 119th, Pawnee, and Mays. This year, we're moving forward with a new fire station in West Wichita, the first since 2008, investing in firefighters and first responders who protect our neighborhoods, while also expanding Delano's Common Consumption District, unleashing entrepreneurs and activating a historic district in a new way. Public and safety and possibility, infrastructure and innovation. Most residents don't wake up thinking about what district they live in. They just want a Wichita that feels safe, growing, and feel confident about Wichita in 2036. The question in front of us today isn't about yesterday. It's whether we choose Wichita that manages decline or whether we choose a Wichita built for the future. I know I choose a Wichita for the future.
Hi, I'm J.V. Johnston, your District 5 representative on the Wichita City Council. 3 things I'm really proud of that happened in 25 was the opening of the Westlink Library is absolutely fabulous. Our new dog park, Country Acres Dog Park, there's always 30 or 40 people there and tons of dogs. And another phase of the Proctor Wetlands. It's a unique experience out in far west Wichita you've got to experience. For 2026, we're looking to a lot more great things in District 5 and in Wichita.
Hi, my name's Maggie Ballard. I represent District 6 right here in the city of Wichita. In 2025, I am most proud of the Multi-Agency Center. We got it up and running, and it's a huge win for our community. One of the things that I'm looking forward to in 26 is phase 3 of the multi-agency center, which is transitional housing right behind Second Light. So it is the next step once you're working through the programs for housing.
I'm Lily Wu, and I'm proud to serve as your mayor. This past year, Wichita proved again that we're a city of builders and problem solvers who care deeply about our community. Being recognized as a secret sauce community by Heartland Forward affirmed what we already know. Wichita has the talent, entrepreneurship, and collaboration to thrive, and that recognition belongs to you. As we look toward America's 250th anniversary, we're reminded our nation's story has always been shaped by communities willing to do the work and move forward together. I will continue to focus on the core responsibility of local government and our community's top priorities: safe neighborhoods, reliable infrastructure, and responsible stewardship of taxpayer dollars. When we get those things right, everything else becomes possible. Progress isn't just policies and projects, it's about people. We must recommit to stronger civil discourse and greater unity. We can disagree without being divided. Wichita is strongest when we listen, respect one another, and work toward a brighter future together. Exciting opportunities lie ahead, but Wichita's future won't be shaped by City Hall alone. It will be shaped by neighbors who show up, businesses that invest, and families who believe in this city. Let's be the people who make Wichita the best city in America to live, work, and raise a family.
Please stand for the presentation of colors and pledge allegiance by McConnell Air Force Base Honor Guard, followed by the national anthem by the Wichita Chamber Chorale.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there, was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Invocation by New Spring Pastor Mark Hoover.
Good evening. It is fitting that we should pray for our city. In the writings of the ancient prophet Jeremiah, God instructs his people to pray for the city to which he sent them. And I don't pretend to understand all the sovereignty of God, but I believe that God has sent us all to this city to make it a better place. When I was an 18-year-old sophomore in college, I told my girlfriend, now my wife of 49 years, I will go anywhere God sends me except Kansas. And having been at New Spring for 41 years, God has a real sense of humor. As someone has said, if you want God to laugh, just tell him your plans. But in these 41 years, I've come to love this city very deeply. We may not have oceans or mountains or theme parks or major league sports, but we have something far better. We have the best people in all the world. And when we pray for our city, we are praying for each other. So would you join me, please, in prayer? Almighty God, we come before you this evening asking for that which only you can do. We pray your blessing upon our wonderful mayor, our city council, city manager, especially our first responders who put their lives on the line every day to serve us. I pray for every city employee and for us, we who are the citizens of this great city. I ask you humbly for health, prosperity, and blessing. And dear God, most of all, may we be a city of people who you can bless. And I pray these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Mayor's Youth Council, Youth Mayor Elizabeth Timsaw.
Good evening, everyone. It's amazing to see such a full house tonight. Today is International Women's Day. This year's theme is Give to Gain, promoting generosity and collaboration, which is fitting as I introduce our city's mayor. Before I do that, I'm honored to serve as the youth mayor of Wichita. My name is Elizabeth Timsaw, and I'm a senior at Wichita Collegiate High School. The Mayor's Youth Council is a youth-led organization that started in 2008 by the late Mayor Carl Brewer. Its mission is to provide young people with the opportunity to learn more about city government and to weigh in on important issues affecting our community. Through the council, we focus on community service, civic engagement, and raising awareness about important issues in Wichita from a youth perspective. This year, our issue groups decided to focus on freedom and equity, homelessness, sustainability, and Wichita history. In addition to these issue groups, our Vice Mayor, Max Timsaw, has continued our Wichita Gems Uncovered online series, which highlights Wichita's many amazing small businesses. Would you please stand if you're in the Wichita Mayor's Youth Council or the Wichita Public Schools Student Board? Tonight, I'm honored to introduce Lily Wu because of her support for our council and her commitment to engaging with the future generations of Wichitans. As a public servant, she has consistently shown that the voices of young people matter. She actively encourages our involvement in civic life and reminds us that the future of Wichita depends on the next generation stepping forward to serve their community. Mayor Lily was sworn in as Wichita's 103rd mayor in January of 2024. Mayor Lily is the first woman elected to a full term in the largest city in Kansas. She's also the first Asian American mayor in the state's history. Before being elected, Mayor Lily spent 12 years as a journalist, serving as an anchor and reporter for Wichita television stations KAKE and KWCH 12 News. Mayor Lily graduated from the International Baccalaureate program at Wichita East High School. As a Gore Scholar at Wichita State University, she graduated summa cum laude with 2 bachelor's degrees in international business and integrated marketing communication. While serving as a Rotary Ambassadorial Scholar, she also earned a master's degree in journalism from the University of Hong Kong. Mayor Lily was invited and selected to participate in the mayor's class of 2026 Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative, the 2025 Hunt Mayor's Leadership Fellows, the 2025 Rodell Institute Fellowship, 2024 Delegation of U.S. Women Mayors to Switzerland. Mayor Lily serves on multiple national, regional, and local boards and committees representing Wichita, including being co-chair of the National League of Cities Aviation Advisory Forum on Advanced Air Mobility and drone integration, member of the Heartland Forward Artificial Intelligence Caucus, board member of the League of Kansas Municipalities governing body, Greater Wichita Partnership Board, Visit Wichita Board, WSU Tech Advisory Board, Exploited and Missing Children Unit Executive Board, Workforce Alliance Chief Elected Officials Board, Steve Clark YMCA Advisory Board, and Exploration Place Board. Member of the Rotary Club of Downtown Wichita, Wichita Crime Commission, Citizen Police Academy Alumni Association, and Wichita Asian Association. Mayor Lilly received the 2025 Visionary Leadership Award by the Wichita Asian Association, 2024 Spotlight Award by the Asian Pacific American Institute for Congressional Studies, Women's Collective in Seattle. She was named the 2022 Rising Star in TV by the Kansas Association of Broadcasters, 2020 Exceptional Young Leader by the Wichita Regional Chamber of Commerce, and a 2015 Leader in Diversity by the Wichita Business Journal. In 2012, she was crowned Miss Kansas United States. Mayor Lilly speaks Cantonese and Spanish and was born in Guatemala and immigrated to Wichita, Kansas with her family in 1993. On the 30th anniversary of her arrival in America, she announced her candidacy for mayor. She champions a vision focused on ensuring public safety, strengthening the economy, restoring trust in City Hall, and building a united community. Please welcome Mayor Lilly Wu.
I don't need a membership to validate the hard work I put in and the dues I've paid. Never been too good at just going along. I guess I've always kind of been for the underdog. Favors for friends will get you in and get you far. Shouldn't be about who it is you know, but about how good you are. Don't wanna be a part of the good old boys club, cigars and handshakes. Appreciate you, but no thanks. Another gear in a big machine don't sound like fun to me. Don't wanna be part of the good old boys club. There's a million ways to dream, and that's just fine.
The state of our city is not defined by headlines. The state of our city is not defined by City Hall. The state of our city is defined by our people. And tonight we're here because those people care about this city. Thank you to the McConnell Air Force Base Honor Guard, the Wichita Chamber Chorale, my pastor Mark Hoover from New Spring Church, and Youth Mayor Elizabeth Timsoff for that wonderful introduction. Thank you also to Patty Haskins, who will be translating for us this evening. I want to acknowledge the head of Legends Global in Wichita, John Hale, and his team for helping us make this event possible here at Century 2. And thanks to Trey Hightower and the Army of Normal Folks, which recently launched in Wichita for coordinating the nonprofit showcase that you saw coming in this evening. Before we begin, I'd like to recognize a few people who serve our community every day, including Team McConnell. If you're a veteran or currently serving in the military, please stand. Thank you for your sacrifice. Your service reminds us that freedom that we enjoy is not accidental. It exists because people like you choose to defend it.
Please stand if you represent the office of Senator Jerry Moran, office of Senator Roger Marshall, office of Congressman Ron Estes, and former Senator Todd Tiahrt. Please stand if you're a member of the Kansas State Legislature. Please stand if you're part of Sedgwick County and the County Commission. Please stand if you're part of the Wichita Public Schools and the school board. And any other elected, current, and former from Kansas in this room, please stand. Please stand if you're a department leader or serve in the city of Wichita. And will my fellow Wichita City Council members please stand? Thank you for the work you do on behalf of the people of Wichita. Public service is not easy. It requires patience, resilience, and a willingness to make difficult decisions. I'm grateful to serve alongside you. And I want to thank all of you for showing up, being civically engaged, and caring about the state of our city. Because the strength of our city isn't measured by what happens inside City Hall, it's measured by the people who show up for their community. Tonight, I want to talk about where we've been, how local government works, the importance of priorities, and how far Wichita can go if we choose to move forward together. Before we talk about the challenges ahead, let's start with something that doesn't get said often enough. Wichita is doing a lot of things right. Coming from the news business, my favorite stories were always the good news, and Wichita has plenty of it. Last year, Wichita hosted the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, NCAA basketball first and second rounds, and championship games for several other sports, including TBT, the basketball tournament, where the Aftershocks won the championship in front of a record crowd. And for the first time, the U.S. Youth Soccer selected Wichita to host the National President's Cup for the next 3 years. And recently, Wichita was named Best Sports Event Host City in America. These sporting events are well executed, nationally recognized, and their economic impact is undeniable. That doesn't happen by accident. Please help me congratulate Susie Santo and the Visit Wichita team. There have been multiple recognitions making Wichita one of the most affordable places to live, retire, or rent, and has the shortest commute among America's 100 largest cities. Eisenhower Airport again ranked among the top 10 small airports in America, and thanks in large part to the Dole VA Medical Center, Wichita was named the best city in America for veterans health care. Wichita State University and WSU Tech combined for a record enrollment of over 25,000 students. WSU President Dr. Rick Muma also published a book titled Student-Centered, Innovation-Driven. And last week, WSU Tech President Dr. Sherry Utash was inducted into the Wichita Business Hall of Fame. Riverfest saw a significant increase in attendance. Summerfest set a record. Delano now allows daily common consumption. Crime is down. Boeing is back. Cheney Lake is full. The lights are back on at Town West. And apparently, Wichita has finally done enough to get a cheesecake factory. To top it off, Heartland Forward chose Wichita as a model city for economic success, innovation, and resilience, naming us a secret sauce community. Take a look at this video.
The secret sauce of Wichita is its entrepreneurial spirit, its legacy of aviation, its innovation, its passion, and its drive to become the very best it can be.
There's this entrepreneurial spirit that I think is born from the value system. When you combine those values like humility and integrity and work ethic, and you have that kind of farm team approach, you have a better chance of succeeding.
People in this town, they're not strangers to success. Pizza Hut came from here, Coke Industry. We have Cessna, we have Boeing.
The air capital of the world is Wichita, Kansas, but for me, air actually stands for something. It's our aviation, innovation, and research.
It goes back to the 1920s, you know, when Beechcraft and Cessna were started. It goes back to Stearman and the very first plane that was built that was right here.
Just within the last year, we broke ground on a whole new biomedical campus that's in the core of our district. That one building will generate 3,000 medical students, 200 faculty and staff, 1,600 jobs.
There's areas that I'm very excited about for Wichita. One of those is education. The Phillips Learning Center, which is one of the nation's leading schools around dyslexia. We have that right here in Wichita.
We have such a culturally diverse community, a strong Mexican, Lebanese, and even Vietnamese culture right here in Wichita. I am so proud of the cultural diversity of our city because it makes for great quality of life, but also a very vibrant food scene.
It's such an honor to have, to be a semifinalist in the James Beard Award. It's every chef's dream. There is a lot of young chefs here in this town. It's something I'm proud of and the whole city proud of.
You have an Intrust Bank Arena, which is bringing in talent, not only from North America. We just recently had the men's NCAA first round here, where thousands of people were on the ground, walking our streets.
The thing that sets Wichita State University and WSU Tech apart from educational institutions across the nation is that we are disruptive innovators. If you're a business coming into Wichita and we don't have what you need, we're gonna build it. And we're gonna build it right with you.
The Keeper of the Plains keeps a watchful eye over the city of Wichita. He stands in the middle between the Little and the Big Arkansas River, and that's really because he is there to be a connector. And it's a reminder of our history with the Native American culture, but it also reminds us that he is welcoming people into the community.
People, they root for the underdog. They help with no condition, and they don't care if you're rich or poor, or how light or how dark is your skin. This is a pure people living in this town. And I love everything about my town. And I owe it to the city. I really do.
And there's just at the core of who we are as a community to say, let's go after these great big things. Let's not be inhibited by this, and then let's follow up with the investment.
You can't help but want to be a part of this. It's passion, it's excitement, it's forward thinking, it's moving ahead.
I've spent a lot of time on the coast in New York and Boston and technology hubs like Silicon Valley, but the center of the country is where stuff is made.
We have no mountains or oceans, but what makes Wichita special is its people. They're the people who build the planes that fly over the heartland. And these are the people that make Wichita so special.
Come be part of the ride. Be a Wichitan. Be a Kansan. There's no better place.
Wichita has momentum we haven't seen in years, but that momentum also requires responsibility. Responsibility to make wise decisions about our future. These are decisions we must make together. The petty arguments and personal disagreements that have held us back for years should not stand in the way of the city we all love. I hope each of you will join me in working together to continue the momentum and turn the page on the tired battles of the past. But before we look forward, we need to reflect. So let's address the elephant in the room. Over the past few months, our community engaged in one of the most significant policy debates in recent memory. Last week, voters made their decision on the proposed sales tax, and it was a statement. Some in our community assumed this proposal was something I either initiated or was pushing. To be clear, neither is true. Leadership requires reflection. My vote for the special election alongside the council in a 7-0 decision was a mistake. The proposal included initiatives our community has been discussing for decades, and many are priorities. At the time that I believed it was an opportunity to let voters decide, but it was big, it was broad, and it was quick. As concerns emerged, including the increased cost of the special election and the impact on some polling locations, I called for a special meeting to delay that vote. Ultimately, the council chose to move forward. Knowing the vote would proceed, I then led the effort to establish guardrails to protect taxpayers if the measure passed. Now, those guardrails included requirements for oversight, transparency, and clear limitations on how funds could be used. In the end, voters spoke, and I heard you loud and clear. The proposal asked for a level of trust many Wichitans weren't ready to extend at a time when families are already feeling stretched thin. All of us, including me, must take that lesson seriously. This debate sparked meaningful conversations about how to improve Wichita. That conversation should continue, but now it must be grounded in the trust voters have asked us to rebuild and the fiscal discipline people deserve. That brings us to the deeper issue beneath that vote. After a series of public-private partnership mistakes, skepticism has been building for years, and I get it. It's one of the reasons I ran for office. And though it wasn't a campaign promise, it's also why I encouraged the former city manager's retirement. Restoring trust starts at the top with transparency, accountability, and disciplined governance. No matter how uncomfortable, it means openly addressing past mistakes. Since taking office, I have requested public presentations on Water Walk, Kenmar, the Wichita Ice Center, the baseball stadium, mismanagement of contracts like the downtown parking fund and the water treatment plant. Some of the criticism this council receives is because it's the first time these projects have been examined in public. Residents don't always separate past decisions from current leadership, and that's understandable. But many of those decisions were made years ago, and most of this council had nothing to do with initiating them. And I can assure you, for the last 2 years, this council has avoided the kind of risky, speculative deals that have often left residents frustrated. Additional safeguards are now in place to ensure stronger oversight, clear guardrails, and better public communication going forward. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight. It's rebuilt one vote at a time. At last year's State of the City, I mentioned a major change was coming, and it represents the most significant administrative transition our city has experienced in nearly 17 years. I'm counting on our new city manager to usher in a new era, one defined by clarity, measurable performance, operational discipline, and public trust. Please join me in welcoming our new city manager, Dennis Marstall. Part of my role as mayor is to be an ambassador for our community. And my goal has been to be the most visible and accessible mayor Wichita has ever seen. Last year alone, I participated in more than 1,100 public engagements. And I continue to hear confusion about how local government works. That's why I created the handout you received tonight, which Wichita operates with a council manager form of government. Understanding that structure matters because it determines who makes decisions and who should be held accountable. The city manager serves as the city's chief executive officer, overseeing operations and all 3,100 city employees. Your city council functions like a board of directors, setting policy and approving the budget. Our job is to represent and advocate for you, the people of Wichita, and hold city bureaucracy accountable. Many assume Wichita operates like a strong mayor city, often looking for the mayor to place blame or expect an immediate fix. And I can understand that, but it's not how our government is designed. I cannot issue executive orders, and I have no veto power. Policy requires council consensus. Any action must take at least 4 votes, and my vote carries the same weight as any other council member. Please raise your hand if you live in District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, District 5, District 6. Demystifying local government has been one of my goals to restore trust in City Hall. An informed public strengthens accountability, and informed accountability rebuilds trust. Every year, one of the most consequential decisions we make as a council is setting the budget. With a general fund budget exceeding $342 million comes serious responsibility. When I speak with residents, most concerns center on property taxes. Your property taxes are assessed by the county appraiser and administered by the county. Approximately half of the property tax payments go to schools. The other portion is shared between city and county. About 3/4 of the general fund expenses go towards core functions of local government: police, fire, and public works. Now, most of those costs are personnel, and those expenses continue to rise. The remaining 24% is largely where priorities are debated. I voted against the last 2 city budgets because they exceeded revenue neutral, effectively increasing taxes and spending, and I remain opposed to raising taxes. I was pleased to see the council pass the first mill levy reduction in nearly 40 years. That's progress. But for it to be meaningful and sustainable, it must be accompanied by disciplined spending. American economist Thomas Sowell once said, "There are no solutions, there are only trade-offs." Every budget decision is a trade-off. Should there be more than $1 million in art at a water treatment plant? Would you rather have new outdoor restrooms that cost over $600,000? Or should that money have been spent correcting deferred maintenance and taking better care of assets we already own? Is it wise to invest millions in a road diet, reducing traffic lanes on Douglas? Or should we prioritize maintaining heavily traveled streets residents depend on every day? These are not abstract debates. They're budget decisions. And in a council manager system, those decisions are determined by council votes. Government exists to meet needs before wants. And we head into the budget season. I am once again asking the council to join me in prioritizing the core functions of local government: police, fire, and public works. If we're serious about rebuilding trust, our budget must reflect discipline. Accountability requires measurement. That's why I want to recognize City Auditor Christina Rose. Christina and her team primarily conduct compliance-driven audits, ensuring the city meets regulatory and grant requirements. But compliance alone is not enough. As Milton Friedman once said, one of the great mistakes is to judge policies and programs by their intentions rather than their results. Christina's vision is to expand beyond compliance auditing into performance auditing. That means evaluating how effectively city programs adhere to their intended outcomes, comparing results to expectations, benchmarking against peer cities, identifying operational efficiencies, and proactively identifying risk. That kind of oversight strengthens transparency, accountability, and public trust. If we're asking taxpayers to trust us, we must measure performance, not just spending. Our budget must reflect discipline, transparency, and a relentless focus on our community's top priorities: crime, streets, economic development, and homelessness. Last year, the Wichita Police Department responded to nearly 235,000 calls for service. If you're a Wichita police officer, please stand. When I became mayor, our police department faced a strained relationship with the mayor's office, limited resources, and approximately 100 vacant police officer positions. That relationship has been restored. Our officers now have the respect and resources necessary to do their jobs effectively and safely. Half of those vacant positions have now been filled, and overall, crime is down. That progress would not be possible without the leadership of Wichita Police Chief Joe Sullivan. Chief Sullivan has embraced modern tools to enhance public safety, from drones as first responders to our new real-time information center. Your council has supported strategic investments that improve response times, investigations, and officer safety. In October of 2024, Captain Casey Slaughter formed the Property Crimes Task Force. That unit now works alongside multiple partner law enforcement agencies. This task force has made more than 600 arrests, recovered more than $7.5 million in stolen property, and was awarded Task Force of the Year by the International Association of Financial Crimes Investigators. If you're part of the task force, please stand. Public safety also depends on our Wichita Fire Department. If you're a Wichita firefighter, please stand. Our community recently learned about large and long deferred maintenance and unacceptable conditions at several fire stations. Now, those conditions should never have persisted. Corrective action is now underway, and the city is committed to ensuring firefighters work out of facilities that reflect the value we place on their service. Public safety is our city's top priority. The council's responsibility is to protect residents in a way that is transparent, fiscally sustainable, and aligned with long-term community needs. Many people experience city government while driving, and street repair remains a top concern. The street maintenance budget is now $16 million. That's up from just over $10 million in 2020. Public Works maintains more than 5,000 lane miles of streets. Your handout includes a QR code where you can report issues. Potholes are typically addressed within 48 hours, and last year alone, crews filled more than 81,000 potholes. To all Public Works employees, thank you for your essential service to our community. Maintaining streets, water systems, public buildings, and core infrastructure is a primary responsibility of local government. Growing our economy means ensuring Wichita remains a place of opportunity. In aviation, Boeing is back. With 13,000 employees, Boeing is our largest employer. They're hiring, and they would like to hire even more. Job growth relies on the private sector, and the private sector relies on a strong talent pipeline. That's why Wichita partners with Sedgwick County, Wichita Public School, and our local colleges and universities. We will continue working with our partners to grow and diversify our economy. Each year, one of our city's most important economic development missions is the International Air Show. Last year in Paris, I had the privilege of representing Wichita alongside Senator Jerry Moran, Lieutenant Governor David Tolan, Congressman Ron Estes, and Sedgwick County Commissioner Pete Meitzner. That kind of unified delegation sends a powerful message. Wichita shows up. And that presence delivers results. Nomadics announced it will relocate its headquarters to Wichita, helping position our city at the forefront of national security innovation. Phil Machine Engineering from Austria announced it will plant their local aerospace manufacturers partnership here, strengthening our leadership in our next generation of production. Hexcel Corporation will establish a new composites application center, shaping the future of aerospace and defense right here in Wichita. These represent jobs, investment, innovation, and long-term economic diversification. Much of this would not have been possible without Wichita State University's National Institute for Aviation Research, which again ranked as the country's #1 aerospace research and development institution. Many people do not realize the profound impact John Tomlin and his team at NIAR have on our local economy. Please help me recognize them. I would also like to recognize Senator Moran. He has been an unrelenting champion for Wichita and our aviation industry. We're blessed to have his advocacy at the federal level, strengthening our local economy. This mission is organized by the Greater Wichita Partnership, which continues to do a tremendous job showcasing our region to the world. Jeff Fleur and the Greater Wichita team, please stand. I would like to show you a short video the partnership shared at the International Air Show. That video was produced locally by Block Digital, a UK-based company that chose Wichita after outreach at prior air shows. That is how long-term economic development works. Our economic momentum is not limited to aviation. Downtown continues to evolve. Construction is underway along the West Bank, and just today, Exploration Place unveiled its $25 million destination playscape. The $300 million Wichita Biomedical Campus will open next year, serving as a catalyst for education, healthcare, and workforce development in the heart of our city. 5 years from now, with hundreds of new apartments, hotels, and businesses, downtown will look dramatically different. That transformation is exciting, but growth must remain disciplined. Economic development is not about writing blank checks. It's about strategic partnerships, clear guardrails, measurable return on investment, and ensuring growth broadens the tax base rather than increasing the burden on homeowners. If we grow responsibly, diversify intentionally, and invest strategically, Wichita will not just compete, we will lead. Like many communities across the country, homelessness is a serious concern. In 2024, your council committed to establishing a permanent low-barrier shelter. Second Light is a centralized location offering case management, wraparound services, and a pathway to stable housing. As part of each State of the City address, I highlight a local nonprofit. This year, I partnered with Second Light, and today, we raised over $50,000 to support its mission. If you serve on the board or partner with Second Light, please stand. Last year, I said this effort would carry risk. Second Light was launched primarily with federal dollars, but those funds expired this year. Long-term success will require stable funding, community buy-in, and the will to enforce our laws. This includes financial support, so our community must decide whether this is a priority. It also requires understanding what it truly means to help. Giving money or food in an uncoordinated way may feel compassionate, but it can undermine the coordinated system we're working to build. If you want to help, please direct your support to Second Light or its partners. People should not be living underneath our bridges. It's not humane. It's not sustainable. The city's illegal camping ordinance does not criminalize homelessness. It allows the city to respond to complaints and address encampments that pose risks to public health and safety when shelter beds are available. Compassion and accountability must work together. At the Wichita State game yesterday, I saw an arena filled with people of different ages, races, incomes, and political affiliations. None of that mattered. For those 2 hours, everyone in that arena was united around one thing. They wanted the Shockers to win. And by the way, how about those Shockers? As Wichita, we can sometimes get in our own way, but it doesn't have to be that way. And if you love Wichita like I do, you'll resist that instinct. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools." We're all Wichitans. We're all part of the same team. When we succeed, we celebrate as Wichitans. When we fall short, we regroup as Wichitans. That's what community means. This weekend, we reset our clocks. Tonight, I want to challenge you to reset your frame of mind. We can build instead of belittle. We can build instead of belittle. We can contribute instead of complain. We can disagree, but we can do so civilly. We can choose to come out from behind the keyboard and understand our neighbors face to face. If you're looking to government to solve your problems, you're going to be disappointed. There will always be more problems than solutions. Progress happens when people choose to be part of the solution. Here in Wichita, we move forward by respecting one another, rejecting division, and working together for the good of our community. Each of us own a piece of our own future, and all of us can own a part of that solution. No contribution is too small. Every act of service matters. Every act of leadership compounds. And every day in Wichita, ordinary people step up. Let me give you a few examples. My friend, 94-year-old Colby Sandlian. After a successful career, he has quietly become one of Wichita's most consequential philanthropists. If you visited the Wichita Art Museum or the Old Cowtown Museum with free admission, you've experienced the impact of his generosity. Please help me in thanking Colby Sandlian. Many of you have seen Spencer from SB Mowing. Spencer built a social media following with millions of viewers by mowing lawns for strangers free of charge. Last year, he saw a home in dangerous disrepair with an elderly neighbor named Beth. So he launched a GoFundMe that raised more than $900,000. That home is restored and Beth can now live safely and comfortably. Please help me recognize Spencer. Leadership also comes from the next generation. Tanya Ramesh is a 15-year-old freshman at Wichita Collegiate who helped MC tonight's event. Last year, she won the Kansas Civics Bee, and she went on to place in the top 5 at the National Civics Bee. She also volunteers her time at the Dole VA Medical Center. Please join me in congratulating Tanya Ramesh. These are examples of what being part of a community means. And it's something bigger than that. Wichita is filled with ordinary people doing extraordinary things for their neighbors and their community every day. And that spirit has a name. It's called Army of Normal Folks.
A strong team isn't built when everything is smooth. It's built through tough times. Tough times don't last, but tough teams do.
Who's best to solve Wichita's problems? An army of normal folks like you and me, using what we have and doing what we can.
How do we help others in our community make stronger families and stronger communities?
I believe community is vital. I think it's important. We're not created to be isolated.
I think unity and understanding is what's going to help individuals thrive, but also America as a whole.
I said, if I want to see a change, I got to become the change.
I wake up to make a difference in my community.
As leaders in our community and our neighborhoods, if there's going to be change, it's going to come from us. It's going to come from the little guys.
Over the past 16 weeks, our graduates have worked hard to examine their lives, identify barriers, and develop strategies to move forward in making a stable and successful future.
And somebody asked me, why did you get so involved? And it was really easy to say, because I saw people's lives change.
When we change people, we change families, and when we change families, we change houses, we change houses, we change blocks to neighborhoods and neighborhoods to communities and into the world. We just put a bid in for 13 homes. I want to do 100 next year.
If you want to do something, don't wait. Just be that person to the people next to you and around you, and you'll see transformation.
I am the facility coordinator and CrossFit coach. Recovery can be fun and exciting.
Like to see them get their energy back, see them get the light in their eyes.
It's really cool to see.
When people in this community know there's those that need a hand, need to reach out, the people of this community have always stepped up to deliver.
You just met members of Wichita's Army of Normal Folks, a new local service club that's reducing barriers to service for all of us, and a movement where together we can move the needle on our community's toughest challenges. There are 0 requirements to join, so every single Wichitan should become a member. Join today at anfwichita.org.
Real change begins with ordinary people choosing to care. It's not about perfection, it's about participation. And when ordinary people step up together, there's nothing Wichita cannot accomplish. This year, I'm committed to continuing tri-governmental collaboration between the city, county, and Wichita Public Schools, identifying opportunities to share services, reduce duplication, and operate more efficiently. I'm committed to mobilizing our youth, helping them see opportunity and encouraging them to get involved through volunteerism and civic engagement. The website wichita.gov/mayor now includes a list of the top 40 youth programs leading in support and engagement. Check it out and share it. I'm committed to continuing transparency and a pathway toward rebuilding trust. And I will work with anyone from any party, any neighborhood, any background who wants to improve our city, bring our community together, and make Wichita proud. If we choose to uplift Wichita, if we choose to uplift our community, if we choose unity over division, contribution over criticism, and service over cynicism, there's no limit to what Wichita can become. As we approach America's 250th anniversary, I'm reminded how grateful I am to be an American. My parents left communist China with the hopes and dreams for seeking freedom and opportunity. The legal immigration process took 10 years. It included a transition period in Guatemala where my brother Carlos and I were born. I arrived in Wichita an 8-year-old girl who didn't speak English. Because of taxpayers, I received a free public school education. Because of mentors, I saw opportunity in this community. I will never take for granted the sacrifices my parents made so I could live the American dream. Scripture reminds us in Luke 12:48, when someone has been given much, much will be required in return. Wichita has given me much. This country has given us much. And I feel a deep responsibility to give back. I'm not a politician. I choose to be a public servant. It may not have been that I have executive powers, but I believe I can make a difference because we all can make a difference. Despite mistakes in our past, mistakes we're determined not to repeat, I'm proud of Wichita. I feel lucky to live here, and I'm honored to serve as your mayor. Let's choose to build instead of tear down. Let's choose to move forward together. Let's choose to see the good in our community. Remember, we can make Wichita the best place to live, work, and raise a family. The state of our city has never been defined by government. It has always been defined by our people. May God bless you and the great city of Wichita.